She called my name across the waiting room like it was nothing. "Ma'am, there's an issue with the HIV test form." Every head turned. Every eye was on me. It was like the air got sucked out of the room. 5 strangers now knew something I hadn't even told my husband yet. They didn't know why I was being tested. They didn't know I was a healthcare worker who just suffered a needle stick injury on the job. They didn't know I was following protocol, doing the responsible thing. All they knew, thanks to that secretary, was that I was here for an HIV test. And just like that, the quiet, sterile waiting room became a pressure cooker of shame, misunderstanding, and judgment. It wasn't just humiliating. It was a violation. And when I confronted her, when I told her she couldn't just announce someone's private medical information like that, do you know what she said? She smiled, shrugged, and replied, "Oh, it's okay. You're just getting tested because of a workplace injury." As if that made it better. As if her assumption about why I was there somehow erased the fact that what she revealed was deeply personal. I told her flatly, "That's not your call. You don't know who's in this room. You don't know what they know about me. What if someone here recognized me? What if I wasn't here because of a workplace accident? What if this was something I hadn't shared with anyone, not even my family?" She didn't flinch. She didn't lower her voice. She didn't apologize. She rolled her eyes, and then she said with a mocking smirk, "Go ahead, call my manager." That moment right there, that dismissiveness, cut deeper than the needle that brought me here in the first place. Because in healthcare, we're trained from day one. Confidentiality isn't optional. It's sacred. It's not just a policy. It's a promise. I've seen firsthand what can happen when that trust is broken. Patients too scared to get tested, too ashamed to ask questions, too damaged by stigma to seek help. So, no, I didn't let it slide. I told her I would be calling her manager. And I meant it. When I got home, I told my husband. I expected him to be as outraged as I was, but instead he paused and said, "Maybe she just made a mistake. Maybe you should cut her some slack." Cut her some slack. I stared at him, trying to process those words. I felt like I was in an alternate universe. Because here's the thing. This wasn't a small mistake. This wasn't someone handing me the wrong form or mispronouncing my name. This was a public broadcast of my private health concern. This was an act that could ruin reputations, relationships, even livelihoods, under the wrong circumstances. And worst of all, she didn't even think it was a big deal. It wasn't just the announcement. It was her complete lack of remorse, that smug eye roll, that sarcastic, "Go ahead." It made me think, how many other people has she done this to? How many others sat in that chair before me, their privacy stripped away with the same casual tone, the same indifferent shrug, and how many of them stayed silent? I couldn't, because I knew that if I didn't speak up, she'd do it again. Maybe next time to a teenager terrified about their first STI test. Maybe to a closeted person trying to quietly access PrEP. Maybe to a sexual assault survivor finally getting the courage to get tested. And maybe next time that person wouldn't be strong enough to stand at that desk and say, "This is not okay." I was, so I waited until the weekend was over. I called the lab's customer service line and explained what happened. I wasn't cruel, I wasn't loud, but I was clear. I gave them the time, the location, the name on the form. I told them what she said, how she said it. What it felt like to be humiliated in front of strangers for something that should have been handled with dignity and care. And I told them the truth. I didn't care if she got reprimanded, or even fired. Because this wasn't about revenge. This was about responsibility. She has access to sensitive medical information every single day. And if she can't respect that, she has no business working in healthcare. I kept thinking about something a fellow nurse once told me during HIPAA training. You can't always control what happens in a patient's body, but you can control how safe they feel in your care. She made me feel unsafe, like I didn't matter, like my privacy was a punchline. And if someone like her stays in that job, unchecked, unbothered, untrained, then the system is broken. I haven't heard back from the lab yet. Maybe I won't. Maybe she'll get a warning. Maybe she'll get retrained. Maybe she'll lose her job. But whatever happens next, I know I did the right thing. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I didn't humiliate her the way she humiliated me. I just told the truth. So, am I the asshole? And now, let's talk about it. This story might seem simple on the surface, just a moment at a front desk, a few words spoken too loudly. But what it really reveals is something deeper, more painful, and far more dangerous. How easy it is to forget the human being on the other side of the clipboard. That secretary didn't just break a rule. She broke trust. She made a private moment public and then shrugged it off like it was nothing. But it wasn't nothing. And if you've ever sat in a waiting room, silently praying no one notices what you're here for, you know exactly what I mean. Medical privacy isn't just legal. It's personal, it's emotional, and for some people, it's life-saving. In a world where stigma still follows conditions like HIV, pregnancy, mental health, addiction, even basic STI testing, what you say and how you say it matters. It can mean the difference between someone seeking help or staying silent, between healing or hiding. And that's why stories like this need to be told, because speaking up, even when it's uncomfortable, is how we protect each other. So here's my question for you, AITA fam. Have you ever had your privacy violated by someone in healthcare or in any setting where you expected discretion? What did you do about it? Drop your story in the comments. And remember, sometimes being the one who speaks up makes you look like the problem. But it might be the only way to stop the real problem from spreading. This is AITA Stories. Subscribe for more true tales that hit where it hurts and remind us what respect really looks like.